Hello everyone. So yeah, this is now part one of the tier list. So if you've tuned in for the first part, great. If you've skipped ahead to part two or part three in later or in the future, you guys are rats. I'm just joking. So let's go straight into it. So part one, this is going to be my tier list guide. I'm going to give you all the rules, rulings or whatever right now, and then we'll go straight into it. So this is all the epic heroes first. Part two will be all the legendary heroes in a separate video. And then in part three, I'm going to actually put all of the heroes together because some of them can combine together really nicely. Some you just don't touch, and obviously some you can, right? So the reasonings I'm going to be putting on here for like my heroes, for example, that you can see on screen, it's going to be how good they are for a free-to-play player, how accessible they are for a free-to-play player. Obviously, all epics are free to use and free to get, so obviously you're going to have access to all of them. But when you come to like the legendary hero video, I would say Hosk and say Lilia, those are VIP locked wall heroes. Their roles and tier list is going to be positioned accordingly in that, but I do obviously give my full opinion on those, so just don't worry about it. So now we're going to go into all the epic heroes. These are all the epic heroes so far. This is up to patch 1.012, so we do also have Pan. As you can see, Pan is the new hero. If you can consider basically all of season 1 as well as up to season 1.5, which is the current season that everyone's experiencing. This is all the data and all the usage and all the combat experience we've seen on the open field and collected ourselves, on our opinions on these heroes. So we're going to go through every epic hero now. Try and go through it not too crazily in depth, but I want to give you guys obviously my reasonings why I'm placing who where. So Gwen is obviously the starter hero for the Spring Wardens, if you ever wondered. And the thing is with Gwen, she is definitely an S tier epic hero. The amount of damage she pumps out is just unmatched for single target DPSing. So if you're looking for a raid combo, one is Gwen with obviously Craig, or if you have like Gwen with Nico, a 5-1-1-1-1 Nico is perfectly fine with this Gwen, and it'll rock your socks off. Honestly, the amount of damage you're dealing and the amount of like DPS that gets pumped out with the defense breaks, it's absolutely nuts. So Gwen for a free-to-play player as well as low spender and even Wales, you'll notice Gwen's damage is actually really high with the poison, the normal attack damage, and her skill 1 all like trickling along together. It just is a really great combination. So for me, if you're looking for an investment for an archer, definitely look at Gwen, and she's really easy to get. Alistair for me is gonna just sit in the B tier. He's not bad. That's the thing. He's not trash at all. He's really good for me in killing patrols and actually PvE content. If you're looking for someone to pair with your Emerys because you don't have a Bakshi yet because the wheel hasn't come, Alistair also is a great addition in that because he has AoE damage, as well as it provides some decent buffs and rage accumulation with Emerys to allow you to keep bumping off a lot of skills. So he's not bad, but he's not great either, right? So now we're going to go to Wild Deer, and Wild Deer for me, again, S tier. He's the starting hero for the League of Order. So these are the mages or the humans, and he's a mage, and he's the best mage out of all the epic heroes in the game so far. The fact that he has a really good skill 1 with an AoE effect on it, and he reduces your attack. He also increases his own skill damage. He also has buffs which increases his own health and magic attack, and he also puts himself a 600 damage shield as a skill 4. This literal mage does everything you want. He does damage, he does buffs, and he sustains himself, so you don't have to worry too much about getting melted really hard. So for me, if you're looking for a mage, always max out and always consider Wildeer. Wildeer is one of the top mages in the game. So now we have Elena, and Elena again is a really great hero. I'm gonna place her in the A tier just because of you'll see in a second. But like, I'm gonna place an A tier. I'm not gonna put this in the S tier. She could arguably be S tier as well. You could almost put her to the front of the S tier if you wanted to. But I'm just gonna put her in A tier for now, and then we'll see where the tier list concludes at the end. The reason why she's A tier is the fact that you can pair her with any match, which is great. The overall talent tree allows her to just go with anyone. She gives that match decent stats, and that's the thing that you need to remember. So the thing with Elena, she just provides some really good tanking stats. She gives you a decent shield. She gives you a little small amounts of trickling damage to deal with, but she gives you like 30% normal attack damage reduction. She also gives you a heal when you get shielded, and if you run her as the primary commander, her talent trees do the same thing. So every time you get hit shielded or healed, you can deal damage or get healed on top. So it's a really cool effect. She's really good, and the fact that you get her for free all the way through the Elena crisis, and it's a really easy way to get heads for her, and it's an alliance focus mode. That's probably why she's A tier, because obviously the speed on how you're going to get her is how active you and your alliance is. If you've got a really bad alliance, you're not going to have her on. So I'm going to just leave it there for now. I'm pretty confident with that positioning. And now we have Bakar, and I'm kind of upset with Bakar. I'm going to just honestly place him in D tier. It's kind of upsetting to see the infantry starting commander actually as being as bad as he is. He's fine to kill patrols with. He's very good at killing patrols and like leveling up in that regard. But on the open field, he just does not fit the open field combat. And the open field combat is a very big, bursty, damaging, fighting game. And for the infantry players, it's all about being able to sustain and tank that damage. And if you can't sustain and tank that damage, you have problems. And that's one of the big problems with Bakar, because Bakar just deals damage. All he deals is just pure damage. And don't get me wrong, on the match, he provides a 20% damage buff on his skill 1, which is very powerful in the right hands. But he just isn't good. He's just not good enough for you to invest your bucks into and try to prioritize to level up, because the legendary heroes themselves are just better. Even Elena could be considered an infantry hero, and she's better than he is. Like, by a landslide, she's better with all the stats that she provides. So for me, Bakar definitely, it's very sad to see, because I started out as Wilderberg too. But he's definitely D tier. I would not currently use him in the game. I just would not use him, right? So now we have Craig. Craig for me is A tier. He's absolutely phenomenal for an epic hero. The amount of damage he lays out is unmatched. It actually is absolutely surprising how much damage he pumps out if you have him expertise. Having the fact that you deal an AoE damage and a bleed damage on top, that's all AoE, and he has a skill damage increase on himself for physical attack, is actually unmatched. It's really insane. So for me, having him in A tier is very good. He deals a great amount of damage on the open field. In raids, he deals an insane amount of damage too. And like I say, you can pair him with Gwen, or you could try with the Nico now, since the changes to Nico has gone from the attack speed to the normal attack damage buff and the other one. So it does give you more options to use him, and in the future, obviously, we're going to see more and more. Atheist is now the next hero. Atheist is a very interesting character in my eyes. He's still in B tier. Some people might consider him C tier, and I might place him in C tier for now. But if that's the case, I'd rather have it like this, because I think Atheist is better than Alistair. So if we adjusted the list now to fit a bit more retrospectively here, the thing with Atheist's magic damage is absolutely nutty. It might not look it, because obviously he's only dealing single target damage, but that is the one thing you need to remember. With single target damage, it generally outrivals AoE damage in a correct vacuum, because if you're looking at a 1v1 scenario, he's dealing 800 damage quicker every turn, while someone else is dealing 600 damage every turn to multiple units. But if there's only one unit, they're not getting that benefit. The thing is, he has a great rage regen, and he's a flying unit. And the thing is, because he's a flying unit, that's probably what's giving him more rating over the Alistair. You see a lot of people running an Atheist with a Craig behind him with their flying mages, or vice versa. You might have a Craig with an Atheist behind him for the rage generation on your Wyvern Riders in the Wilderberg camp for marksman. So he has his place, and being able to fly over things and actually like create chaos in that regard is really good. You can get some great flanks. So he's definitely B tier. He's not trash. I use him quite often as well. I think he's pretty decent. I use him a lot in like killing stuff and using him in the open field as an additional mage march. So that's my opinion on him. You can invest into him, obviously, leveling him up a decent amount, but you don't need to prioritize all your XP bucks into him straight away. That's what the S and A heroes were for. So now we have Alwyn, and Alwyn again is in the same boat. The thing with Alwyn is he's a really great secondary so far in the game to Waldia that people run all the time if you don't have Lilia, and that is a really good reason for it, because him and Waldia have the 10% health, so having 20% health on a magic unit is great. And the fact that you can ensnare, which is slowing down targets, and deal continuous damage as well, it allowed you to just deal a considerable amount of damage over time, as well as in big bursts, which is really nice. The problem is, like I say, he's a secondary unit. So again, you can, if you really realistically wanted to, you could try and only go to like level 40 and have him, 4 skills awakened and having him behind your Waldia, and you'd be happy with it. And over time, if you hit 50 and 60, that's fine, But for priorities, I would try and prioritize the other mages first, as you can see above, as well as the legendary ones that you may have access to later on. And now we're at Pan. And Pan is the new hero. And Pan is going to be a very interesting hero to put, because obviously she's just come into the game. We don't realistically have too much data on her, so this rating for me is more based on my first impressions of seeing her, right? So she is a very cool hero. Her rage skill is a very far attack range, meaning she is a mage capability. She isn't flying, but she does allow you to, hit far away. She's overall, so you can pair her with any unit in general. So her skill 1 does a decent amount of healing, and it gives you a 20% healing bonus, which is cool, to a target ally. It targets the lowest health unit in that area, which is a very cool effect. So you can still be very far away while you're triggering this. Her skill 2 is to do with gathering, so we don't really want to talk about that. The skill 3 is reducing the amount of skill damage taken and increasing your defense bonus, which is great. And she has a 20% probability chance to remove a debuff effect, which is another amazing factor in the open field to have. And when you actually expertise her over time, when you activate her skill 1, she also has a chance, should I say, heals her own legion by 200. So it basically like increases the amount of healing you're pumping out. You're going to heal someone else plus yourself when you're expertise. So as you can see, that's a quick rundown, quick view of her, so you understand who we're talking about here. And the thing is, for me, I think I'm gonna keep her in the B tier 2. I'm gonna put her in this order. I think this is the order that's gonna be the B tier for me. The thing with her, and we look at all the epic heroes over time, when you do expertise them, they're all gonna be in the same level playing field, and you're just looking at who should you prioritize first. In an epic hero scenario, she might be one of the best ones you can pick, because being able to pair with any of these heroes, especially the mages, it allows you to have multiple mage marchers. It allows you to also have a supportive march, which is really good in the open field. Because if you do have sometimes supportive marches in the open field as a free-to-play player, it allows your whales and your spenders to actually abuse their units more, because you're giving them even more damage, or you're giving them healing, or you're giving them a shield so they can benefit even further and like push out more damage, right? So it's going to be a very interesting one. Again, like I said, we might put her down later down the line, but I think for now, I think she's a very solid choice in the B category. I think she's going to be better than the other two mages in the game. But like I said, she is overall, you can use her with anyone. And that is currently the 1.012 Epic Heroes that are currently in the game. I hope you enjoyed it. That is part 1. Check out part 2. That's going to be uploaded soon as well. That is all the legendary heroes. And then finally check out part 3, which will be all of the heroes combined. And if you've stuck all the way to the end of the video, smash a like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, I am currently giving a 250 subscriber giveaways going on. If you've not looked at it or you've not checked it out, I'll put the video in below, and I'll try and see if I can pin it in the video somewhere so you can check it out. And that will give you a link to that video and basically how to enter the giveaway and how it all works and everything you need to know on it, right? So that is me, MrSneakyy, with today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash like, comment, and subscribe again, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.